try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange.
What up, Finn fans? Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. What up? Good morning. Michael, good morning. Miller, good morning. Aqua, good morning. Michael K, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? How are you all doing this morning? Are you kind of surprised we're getting a Thursday morning straight? Listen, man, I gotta get them dollars. You know what I mean? I don't get that YouTube money like all the other big YouTubers. Well, I'm not a big YouTuber first and foremost anyway, but I don't get all that YouTube paper. I gotta get money other ways too. You know, I would love to be here consistently every day, and when the season gets here, I'll make sure that I'm here every day. I mean, this is a dead part of the season, and that's why I'm gonna start doing the show Tuesday or Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. instead, just because I can consistently get you 5 days a week right in a row, and I don't have to miss any time, hopefully. So I do apologize that work has been coming up. Again, I gotta make money when I can make money, you know what I mean? Shout out to Michael Lombardo, man. You know, he seen that I really want to go to the training camp, and I had talked to Michael K on the phone the other night. I had said we had a great conversation, and I was telling him, you know, like I would love to go to the training camp, but since I don't make money on YouTube, it's like, dang, you know, I'm going to spend half of a vacation's worth of money that I could be taking with my family to go down the training camp without receiving money, any income from YouTube. So it's hard for me to fathom to spend half a vacation's worth of money on myself. I feel like that's selfish. So Michael Lombardo seen that, and he's trying to help donate to help me get the training camp, which I appreciate so much. And I'm not one of these guys that's gonna come on here. I hate to ask for anything, so I'm not gonna beg or plead with people to give me their money. You know what I mean? Like I don't live in South Florida. I see a lot of podcasters that live right in South Florida want donations to go to the training camp. And I mean, to each their own. It blows my mind a little. What do you need? Gas money? Like, I gotta fly. I gotta get a place. I gotta eat. I got transportation. But you know, that's no one's problem but my own. And hopefully, I can make it down. And you know, but Michael Lombardo, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for helping me out. You know what I mean? It means a lot. So let me get back up here into these. Like I said, Michael Lombardo, thank you so much. Michael K says, Big C, I need to put you on notice. I hurt Costa Nostra's feelings yesterday at TFTG. He might retaliate, tie me out for just unjust reasons. What do you do, Costa? What do you do, Costa? No need to apologize. We're fans and friends. We understand, big dog. I appreciate it, Miller. Not bringing that nonsense to Big C show. There is a difference between begging and having someone offer. I appreciate that, Michael K. Yeah, you know, I would love to. I've never been to training camp. I mean, a lot of these guys have been to training camp several times. I would love the experience. I obviously have some of my own money that I will absolutely put forward. Anyone that wants to help me, that'd be great. You know, I would absolutely appreciate it. Like I said, I don't make money off YouTube at the present moment. Who knows if I ever will, because they denied me monetization. I don't get super chats. So if anybody wants to help, I definitely appreciate it. I tried to get with some of my colleagues and, you know, try to set something up where, hey, let's get an Airbnb together and this and that. And they're staying with relatives or they get to drive there on a daily basis. So it kills me that they still asking for donations when they got places to stay and they don't need to share places. You need a Cash App, bro. I got Cash App. YouTube takes 30%. I'm down, bro. Don't care about your clout, clown. Kosa, what he do? What am I hoping to see at training camp? Obviously, that's the title of the video. We're gonna go over it. Cat for Life says I'm down. Listen, I put it out there. I'm not one of these guys that you got to pay for my time. You know what I mean? I'm willing to. I'm no better than you. I'm a Dolphins fan. Y'all are like kind of a family to me. You know what I mean? And yeah, we have never met in person, but I'm a clean dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a weird dude. If y'all want to go in on an Airbnb, I'm down. You know what I mean? Like, anything that can save us all a buck. I think we could have a great time, cook some steaks on the grill, you know, a pool in the background, have a couple beers after training camp. That'd be fantastic for me, talking Dolphins football around a fire. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. But yeah, the Miami Dolphins 2025 training camp. Obviously, we hope and pray that Beth, what's up? Good morning. Buffalo Bills fans in the house, you know, I love it, you know, and Beth is more of a understanding Bills fan, whereas Michael K is more of a trolling Bills fan. But each and every one of you brings something different to the Miami Dolphins community, and you gotta love it. You know what I mean? You gotta love it. Cat for Life, our Michael K says, no, I won't fly. Beth says I'm a football fan first. And I think it all boils down to that you gotta love the game of football first and foremost. Yeah, you might have your favorite team, you know what I mean? But I think we're all deep down football fans at the very base of our existence, you know what I mean? I think even if your favorite team's not playing on TV, if a great game's on Thursday night, You're going to sit down and watch it because you're just a fan of the game. You know what I mean? You're a fan of the game. We need a fantasy football get together, bro. Listen, I'm definitely down. I do the fantasy football, you know. We can do a league on here. We can do a couple leagues. We can do all types of stuff. That says I don't troll. There's a respect given for every team and every fan base. Bills sucked for years. I was still a Bills fan. Hey, listen, you're preaching to the choir here, girl. You're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. So, big things for me heading into the training camp is obviously the health of Tyreek Hill. That's a big one. What's that risk going to be like? Is he going to be 100%? James Daniels' recovery from a torn Achilles last year, that's huge. Is he going to be completely ready? Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, are they back to 100%? Are they going to be full go? That's huge for me. And then what additions are we going to make during training camp to the cornerback position? What additions are we going to make to the cornerback positions that help this team see its full potential this year? I haven't played fantasy football on Sleeper app. Shit. Sorry, I ordered a new mic cord again. I don't know. We all good now? Let me put YouTube on my phone so I can try to catch it as soon as it happens. Of course, my phone's about to die. Yeah, just let me know as soon as it happens. I'll switch it out. I don't know why this. I ordered another mic cord. Michael K says, when my chick gets back from Belize, I'm kicking her out the house. The only coffee grounds she left me are some graham cracker. Listen, Miller, I would love for us to bring Xavier Howard in for at least a test run. What up, Raphael? Good morning, brother. What up, Greg? Listen, anything that we can listen, I don't care who it is. It could be your local bag boy at the what's your stores down there? Your popular stores down in Florida. I don't care if it's the bag boy at your local grocery store. If he can come in and help this team, I'm with it. Publix, there you go, Cat. I knew that. I go down to Florida. I try to, probably every other year, me and my family rent a real nice Airbnb in the Kissimmee area. And we do the Old Town and Universal and go to one of the beaches. I'm here right now in the deli. It's Cougar Thursday. Yeah, well, out there. Old Town is wonderful. It's a great thing. You go get them fish to eat the dead skin off your feet and stuff. I've never done it, but it looks interesting. If we do this, how much money do I need to put down? I mean, we'd have to find the Airbnb and we split it. Personally, I'd like to have one with a pool, you know what I mean? Patriots 12, have you ever been to training camp? Do players sign autographs? I've never been to training camp. That's why I really want to go. Yeah, I believe players sign autographs. I'm not trying to listen, I'm a little nobody in this YouTube world, obviously, especially in the Miami Dolphins community, in the NFL community. But I have talked to Alan Poupart. I've had him on the show. I have had Isaiah Smalls on the show. I've had OJ McDuffie, Richmond Webb on the show. So I feel like I would be able to talk to these guys and possibly get some kind of hookup as far as some autographs, some pictures, but who knows? You know what I mean? I've obviously had some kind of relationship with Doug and TD. They're obviously more connected than I am. So I feel like I should be able to get some autographs down there. I feel like I should be able to get some, who knows, maybe an interview or two. Big C, you're only about 2 hours from Bills camp. Save the money and go watch a winning team if you want to see a training camp. Yeah. Nobody's became somebody's. Always remember that. I appreciate that, Cat. Joe Riss says, I'm down to go on it. Listen, if we can find an Airbnb and I can look, the big thing is how close. You guys would have to tell me the areas that we'd really have to search. Now, you trying to be right next door to the stadium? I heard that's a little bit shady neighborhood right around the stadium. You know what I mean? Sorry, this toasted graham cracker coffee has me rotted today. I bet. I don't like flavored coffee. I used when I was younger, the flavored creamer. I used to get all different types of flavored creamers and stuff, but now I just like my regular coffee. I'd rather have somewhere cool than the ability to walk to the game. Yeah, I would too. You know what I mean? I wish we could stay somewhere in Kissimmee but that's too far. That's too far of a travel day in and day out. Because Kissimmee, they got the game rooms, they got the movie theater rooms. I don't know if they got that everywhere down there. What up, Finspin? You tell me where we should look. I can look. We can see how many people are available to go down on this, and I'll let you know how much it would be per person. But I mean, that's why I'd rather stay at an Airbnb than a hotel because, Airbnb's got grills. You don't got to go eat $40. God dang it. I don't get it. Sometimes it does it a bunch. Sometimes it don't do it at all. It don't make no sense to me. Yeah, I'd rather be able to throw some steaks on the grill, you know what I mean? Or you're stuck in a hotel room with not much to do, or you got to go down to a public pool. Listen, I'd rather go out to the backyard to the pool, sit around, you know what I mean? Have a couple drinks, cook some steaks, talk Dolphins football while we're not at training camp, and then, spend the day at camp. Be able to come home, take a nice nap in a air conditioned situation. You know what I mean? I think it would be a good time. Word of caution, don't know how long you've been in the YouTube sphere. Back in the day when TD used to live stream camp, it came out Omar had him shut down, and now they work together. Exactly. I can grill, bro. Listen, I can, I can do my thing too. You know what I mean? I do my thing. Listen, I'm going, you know what I mean? I'm going to get, I won't, if I go to camp, I'm going to get me some footage. Believe that. I ain't going to be blatant with it. I ain't going to be blatant with it, but you know what I mean? I can't grill. I can cook and make some mean ass drinks. Beth, you're more than welcome to come too. You come watch the Dolphins. Could grill some nice quality stuff for cheaper than restaurants and bars. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I said if I was going down, I had to get a hotel by myself. The price of food, drinks, transportation, the hotel is just, that's half a vacation. That's half a vacation. Laugh out loud, Bills fan crashing the party. Like you said, Beth, it's about the experience. You know what I mean? You go down with other football fans. It's about being a football fan. You know what I mean? Miller says, "I smoke, I don't drink." Well, I don't personally smoke, but to each their own. You know what I mean? To each their own. Well, like I said, Beth, you're more than welcome. I mean, everybody will have their own room, obviously. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a fantastic time. Big C fly out of Trenton. Trenton? What, in Florida or New York? Raphael says, I smoke weed and I drink the best of both worlds. I mean, Beth, you're gonna, it's probably less of a chance of disagreements and real arguments. Nah, you didn't miss anything good. Yeah, Trenton, New Jersey, and that's mad far from me. Why am I going to fly all the way? Why am I going to drive all the way to New Jersey? If I'm driving to New Jersey, I might as well drive to Florida. That's true, Beth. That's true. All right, let's get to it though. Let's get to it. We'll definitely. You guys give me an area. I'll look up the Airbnbs. We'll try to figure out something. Who's really on board with going? And we'll get something. I live in New York, not the city, upstate. Upstate. The city is like 4 or 5 hours from me. Well, we were talking about training camp right now, Joe. If we're talking about a game, that's a different situation. But let's get to this a little bit. I want to bring out the depth chart, some things that I'm looking forward to, who we think's gonna be the number one, number two at each position, maybe some players that we should be bringing in to help booster this team. But yeah, let's see. Share. Let's go over the offense first. Training camp. Things that I want to see. Let's see. All right. So, of course, you'll get some of the Tua haters. Oh, well, Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers, Tua Tagovailoa gives us the best opportunity to win week in and week out. He is, regardless of what you say, as of right now, he's still the number 2 quarterback in this division. And, maybe the Patriots boy takes him over after this year, but as of right now, Tua Tagovailoa deserves to be called the second best quarterback in this division. And I went back and I watched the Bills Dolphins game yesterday. The Bills Dolphins game in Buffalo, where Bass kicked the 60-yard field goal to win the game at the end. Listen, Tua played fantastic in that game. So the fact that people say that Tua can't play good against good teams in cold weather, there's proof that he's capable of doing it, regardless of what people say. Does he need to do it more consistently? Absolutely. Does he got to do it at a higher rate? Absolutely. But Tua is capable. I think he only had 3 incompletions the whole game. 3 incompletions the whole game. He took the team down the field, tied the game. The defenses should have had the Buffalo Bills stopped. Jordan Poyer makes a stupid penalty, hitting Coleman, a defenseless receiver, hit to the head, costing us the game. We should have been getting the ball back with the opportunity to win the game. Tua was on fire at that point. I really do believe we should have beat the Buffalo Bills last year. But again, it's not just Tua making mistakes on this team. Team wins are it's a team accomplishment, and losses are team. You know what I mean? Losses happen because the team plays bad, not because Tua plays bad per se. Now, has Tua cost us some games by himself? Sure, I'll give you that. There's been a couple 3 interception games that Tua's cost us on his own. But most of the time, it's not just Tua playing bad. It's the team as a whole. And Beth, you're absolutely right. My biggest thing with Tua is his health. Absolutely his health. So, I mean, Tua is the best option at quarterback for this team right now. Do I think that we need to continue the draft quarterbacks? I do. Do I think we should be taking quarterbacks high in the draft? I do. Because I'm still thirsty for the Miami Dolphins to get their hands on an elite quarterback, a franchise-changing quarterback. We haven't had one since Dan Marino was drafted in '83. Listen, it's been a long time since the Dolphins have had a superior quarterback. I mean, even when Dan retired, Dan wasn't the same quarterback he used to be. I don't think Dan was the same quarterback since the 93-94 season. So it's been a long time. We're talking 30, 31 years since we've had a elite quarterback. That's a lifetime. Let's take a look at the running backs. You got Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Alexander Madison, Ollie Gordon II. Devon Achane, a very good running back. I do feel like he's undersized to be the main guy, but he catches a lot of passes out the backfield. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's elusive. He's fast. He's a big play waiting to happen. I like Achane a lot. I do wish we had a bigger bell cow of a back, but Achane's a nice piece. Again, I think we got probably the second best running back in the division. You could argue the first best. James Cook had a phenomenal year last year. Do I think James Cook's is far and away better than Devon Achane? No, I don't think he is far and away better than Achane. But I think the year that James Cook had last year, he gets the nod as far as the number one running back in the AFC East right now. Now, you'll have Jets fans that'll be screaming about Breece Hall. Breece Hall hasn't shown me much. I think he's a talented player, but I still think that James Cook and Devon Achane are the two better backs. I think Achane could surpass Cook. We'll see, though. We'll see. You know, the Buffalo Bills have consistently a decent offensive line that play together week in, week out with each other. There's not a lot of injuries that happen upon that offensive line, and that makes a big deal for running backs. That's a big deal for running backs. And Michael K, I gave Cook the nod, you know what I mean? But I think Achane is at least as talented as Cook, and I could see Achane surpassing Cook. But I like our running back group. I think Jalen Wright's this season could really come into his own. He's put on some size, some strength. He's a speed demon too. I like Jalen Wright as our backup. And then you got Alexander Madison and Ollie Gordon II. These two are going to be the guys that we put in the game to try to get us 1 yard, 2 yards. There are bully football players, our short yardage backs. You know, I think Ollie Gordon could end up taking Alexander Madison's spot on the depth chart. Madison played decent for the Minnesota Vikings, filling in for Delvin Cook at times. But Ollie Gordon, not last year, but the year before, he was the number 1 running back in all of college football. He had a down year last year for Oklahoma State, but it was really because they had no other weapons on that team. The offensive line was bad. The quarterback was bad. The receivers were bad. Ollie Gordon was forced to do it all on his own. Teams were able to focus in on Ollie Gordon. That's why he had a down year. But the year before, he was the best running back in college football. So I think we might have got a steal with him. The big negative about him is that he runs upright. He needs to learn how to lower his shoulder, and he would be a much better running back. If he could just learn how to lower that shoulder instead of running so upright, he'd be more of a force. So I like our running back room for the most part. Ollie Gordon isn't going to beat out Jalen Wright, I don't think. Not this year, at least. Let's head to the receivers. You got Tyreek Hill, obviously, question marks. Him coming off the wrist injury. He had wrist surgery. He dealt with it all last year. You've seen his numbers take a big hit. Now, was that because we used the tight end position a lot more? Sure. They tried to not have the offense so Tyreek dependent. But listen, Tyreek Hill is the best player on this football team. Without question, Tyreek Hill is the best football player on this team. He is the best Miami Dolphin, whether you like him or not. He's explosive. He's electric. He is dynamic. He's every type of word that you would describe all-star great player with. Tyreek Hill is that. Now, Tyreek Hill has had some big drops for us. He's let us down in some key situations. Philadelphia Eagles game. How different would that game be if he wanted to drop the touchdown pass? The Kansas City game where he fumbled the ball and then it was returned for a touchdown. We lost that game by one score. How different would that game be? So Tyreek needs to make plays when we need him to make them the most. But Tyreek Hill is the best player on this team. I think Tyreek has a bounce back here. I think Tyreek has over 100 catches, over 1,500 yards, probably 10 scores. Tyreek Hill is an animal. Still a top 5 wide receiver in this league, in my opinion. He's still the most dynamic weapon in all of football, and he's on our football team. And a lot of people have their opinions about Tyreek, but if you want to see this team succeed, I don't see how you don't want Tyreek on your team. I don't see how you don't want Tyreek on your team. Yeah, Buffalo's got Ray Davis. He's a nice piece. Even your third string there is pretty good. I know Michael K says you don't have a third string, but Number 2 receiver, Jalen Waddle. Listen, I think Jalen Waddle is probably the best number 2 receiver in all of football. I don't think Jalen Waddle's a number 1 like a lot of fans think he is. Obviously he can put up some great numbers if Tyreek weren't here. I think he would be a 100 catch guy. I think he would be a 1,200, 1,400 yard guy. I just don't see him in the same light as I see a Jordan Jefferson, a Jamar Chase. I just don't think he's that type of player. I just don't think he's that type of player. But I think he's a fantastic number 2. I think he's a weapon. I think he can be dynamic. I think the Miami Dolphins have the number 1 receiving group in all the AFC. I think the Miami Dolphins could possibly have one of the top units in all of football, honestly. Now you can name the Cincinnati Bengals, you can name the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, there's other teams that have very good receiving cores. I think Miami can be mentioned with all of those teams, and it's not crazy. Number 3 receiver for the Miami Dolphins, the slot receiver, or whatever. You got Nick Westbrook-Akine. You got Malik Washington, D. Estridge. All those 3 guys fighting for that number 3 spot. Listen, I think Nick Westbrook-Akine is going to bring a lot to the red zone area. But I really like Malik Washington. He's an undersized guy. He's got good quickness. Not super fast, but good quickness. He's got good hands. I like Malik Washington a lot. There's a lot of rumors going around that the Miami Dolphins are interested in bringing in Keenan Allen. Listen, I wouldn't hate that move. I don't think that's where our main focus should be. But Keenan Allen's a great route runner, got great hands. He's a decent sized receiver that can bring some production to the red zone. So I wouldn't hate adding Keenan Allen to this football team. I don't think it would be a situation like Omar or Odell Beckham. I think Keenan Allen still has something left to give this league. I wouldn't be mad at adding Keenan Allen to help this football team win. And I know Keenan Allen's 33. He's not a long-term investment. He's a 1-year, help this team win this year. You know, you can't have all young guys. You gotta have a mix of vets. If we can bring Keenan Allen in on the league minimum with incentive-based deal, I think you do it. But again, I don't think that should be your number 1 priority at this moment. Tight end, obviously, we moved on from Jonnu Smith. We were never going to pay Jonnu $12 million. Jonnu broke all the single season records for the Miami Dolphins at tight end position. Sad to see him go, but again, there was no way we were giving him $12 million. This tight end position is in real shambles for the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion. Julian Hill, I've never been a big fan of him. I think he as good as a blocker as everybody says he is. He causes too many penalties, makes too many mistakes while he's on the field. Farrell Brown, he's slow as molasses. He has no speed. If he's in the game, you're going to know it's a run. And to me, that makes him useless. I don't care how good of a blocker he is. If you know that it's a run play because Farrell Brown's in the game, you can dial it in and you're going to be able to stop the run no matter how good of a blocker he is. Tanner Connor is a training camp god. You know what I mean? He practices and does so well in training camp, but when the season comes, he's a ghost. Maybe this year he can actually make something happen, but again, until Tanner Conner shows me something in the regular season, I have no faith in him. We got undrafted free agent Conyers. I think he is a phenomenal athlete. He can be a really good player for the Miami Dolphins, but these undrafted free agents, they're undrafted free agents for a reason. I don't think he's going to do much for us this year, if anything. And so, I mean, if you're counting on Conyers to make a splash with this team, I just don't see it. And then you have Darren Waller. Darren Waller was retired last year for the New York Giants. He said the only way he would come out of retirement is to play for John Gruden or Frank Smith. Frank Smith is the offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins go and trade the New York Giants for Darren Waller. Darren Waller is, I have no big expectations for Darren Waller, but this is a low risk with the potential for a huge reward. Darren Waller is a fantastic athlete. Darren Waller had his best career years under Frank Smith. Darren Waller's average seasons were as good as Jonnu Smith's best seasons before Jonnu Smith became a Miami Dolphin. If Darren Waller can come in here and he has the will and want to play and he's in great shape, Darren Waller could have a huge season for the Miami Dolphins. Am I counting on that? No, I'm not counting on that. I'm not counting on it. But I think Darren Waller could easily have 50 catches, over 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And I think if he can have that, I think the move is a success. The Miami Dolphins have showed that they don't need a dominant tight end to have a very good dominant offense. This team doesn't need a lot of production to have a good offense. Is it nice to have an extra weapon? It is. But in 2023, we had Durham Smythe as our number one target at tight end, and we had the number one offense in all of football. So I think anything that Darren Waller can bring to the Miami Dolphins is a bonus. But if he gets here and he's absolutely garbage, it doesn't mean that our offense can't succeed. So I'm not overly concerned with that. Fullback, Alec Ingold, still one of the better fullbacks in the league. I like Alec Ingold a lot. He's a nice little pass catcher out the background, a good blocker. He'll get you a yard or two on 3rd, 4th, and 1. Alec Ingold's a good player. And then we're on to the offensive line. You got Patrick Paul replacing Teron Armstead. Man, oh man. Teron Armstead was dealing with injuries his whole time here in Miami. Was a great offensive tackle when he was on the field. A team leader. Again, one of the best offensive tackles in all of football. We're going to feel the loss on this one. But Patrick Paul is a big, physical, young kid. He got some playing time last year, and he wasn't fantastic in his time last year. But the kid is a student of the game. He wants to be better. He wants to be great. He's willing to put in the work. I think Patrick Paul will be decent for us this year. Is he going to be Teron Armstead? No. He's not going to be Teron Armstead, but I think he's decent. I think he's going to play good football. I think he's going to get better as the season moves on. And I think we'll be all right in the long run. I think we'll be all right in the long run. I would like to see us add some depth at the tackle position. You got the kid from the Cleveland Browns, Tristan Wirfs. Is that his name? He's available. Maybe take a flyer on him. But yeah, that's going to be That's going to be the key along this offensive line is adding depth. James Daniels, tackle our guard that we traded from the Pittsburgh Steelers for. He participated in mini camp drills and stuff, so that's promising. Hopefully he's healthy and he's a full go when training camp comes here in a few weeks. When he was played for the Pittsburgh Steelers before his injury last year, he was the number one graded guard in all of football. If he can get this back to 75% of that by the start of the season and just keep improving upon that as the year goes on, this is a huge improvement over last year's offensive line. Rob Jones and Liam Eichenberg were absolutely horrible. Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg were absolutely horrible last year. I don't see how James Daniels is anywhere near as bad as those guys were last year. So I 100% think it's an upgrade, even if initially James Daniels isn't 100%. Sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button. But if this offensive line can improve, this offense can be dangerous. This offense can be dangerous. So I think James Daniels will be fine. You know, sports medicine is way different than it used to be. I don't think he's going to be at his. I don't think he's going to be at 100% by the start of the season, but I think he should be 80, 85, and I still think that's a huge improvement. Center, we got Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer is a fantastic for our running scheme, our offensive scheme. He's not a big physical player, but he's athletic. He did a good job for us last year. I'm not worried about Aaron Brewer in this scheme. Right guard, you got Jonas Alvanea, big physical guard we drafted and moved up in the second round to grab out of Arizona. Listen, I think it's going to take some time for him to get up to speed. But again, I think he's going to be an upgrade over Liam Eichenberg. Liam Eichenberg couldn't stay on his feet. And I think even initially, Jonah's going to be an upgrade. Is he going to have his hip cups? Is he going to have his rookie brain farts? Absolutely. But I still think he's going to be an upgrade over what we had last year. Don't worry. He's going to sign. He's going to sign. Jonah's going to be an upgrade. Austin Jackson. Listen, Austin Jackson keeps going through injury stuff. We might have to sign someone to bring in to replace Austin Jackson, because if he doesn't stay healthy, I'm not all right with Larry Borum or any of the other guys that we had, Ryan Hayes, Keon Smith. If Austin Jackson needs to be healthy. If this offensive line wants to be successful, Austin Jackson needs to be healthy. We've seen the drop off when Austin Jackson was out last year. It was huge. He needs to remain healthy. He needs to stay healthy. As far as this offensive line goes, as a whole, if they can stay healthy, I think it's an improvement over last year. Even with Armstead gone, I think it's an improvement. I think we should be able to run the ball better. If we can run the ball better, that means we can throw the ball better. Running the ball opens up the deep passing game for this football team. That's why we were so explosive in 2023, because we were able to run the ball. We have to be able to run the ball if we want to be successful this year. I think this offensive line is capable, but again, it needs to stay healthy. And I feel like we need to make some moves to add some depth to this offensive line, because we're one injury away from Liam Eichenberg being back in the starting lineup. We need to add some depth. Now, Liam Eichenberg, I will say this. I am a big critic of Liam Eichenberg, but Liam Eichenberg has never gotten a real shot at improving at one position. He goes into the season, he's the left guard. Next thing you know, we need you to play right guard. Next thing you know, we need you to play center. He's never gotten a fair shake to just have an opportunity to get better at one position. So hopefully, if he's focusing on right guard, left guard, whatever position he's focusing on this year, hopefully he has an opportunity to really improve and master his ability at that position. Joe Russ says, Big C, I disagree. If it's a tackle, I think Keon plugs in before Liam, or sliding someone over and Liam. Oh, yeah, if a tackle goes down, I think Keon goes in first. I think Keon gets put in at tackle first. But guard, center, I think Liam Eichenberg is your backup. But I still would like Isaiah Wynn is a cheap option. Isaiah Wynn was way better than Robert Jones or Liam Eichenberg last year. And I know people are going to say, well, Isaiah Wynn can't stay healthy. We don't need him to start, folks. We need him to be able to play 4 or 5 games. Liam will play this year. He will. What about the depth chart, Joe? I think Liam Eichenberg. I mean, it's been shown in the past that Liam Eichenberg, if the left guard goes down, right guard goes down, center goes down, Liam Eichenberg is your replacement. It's been like that for the last 2 years. I mean, this is just the initial. This is your initial depth chart. This depth chart's going to change after training camp. So take this depth chart right now with a grain of salt. We'll get there, Miller. Obviously, I'm doing the offense right now. We'll get there. Well, Keon's coming off the injury. But we'll see. We'll talk more about the depth chart as training camp moves along. These guys have yet to put on pads. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of stories to tell once these guys put on pads. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, add some more depth on the offensive line. Brandon Sheriff, Isaiah Wynn, Tristan Wirfs, anybody that you can bring in on a cheap deal. We need depth on this offensive line. Moving to the defensive side of the ball, big losses this year. Calais Campbell, obviously Jalen Ramsey, Fuller, our other corner, Javon Holland at safety. We lost quite a few guys on this defensive side of the ball. Kenneth Grant, our number 1 draft pick. They got him a 1 defensive end. Nose tackle, they got Benito Jones. Right defensive end, they got Zach Sealer. This is based on a 3-4 defense. I really think we'd be better if we played a 4-3. With the amount of pass rushers and the players that we have on this team, I think we'd be better off if we played more 4-3. Now, they're going to play a hybrid 3-4, 4-3. Some looks will be a 4-3. Some looks will be a 3-4. But I think our best lineup would be a 4-3 defense. I think if you have Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant as your defensive tackles, probably Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, or Bradley Chubb and Chop Robinson as your ends. And then your linebackers, I'd go Jordan Brooks, either Chop or Jalen, whichever one's not playing the end, and either Dotson or Willie Gay Jr. But I think you need to get Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Chop Robinson on the field together as much as possible. You need to get those pass rushers on the football field together as much as possible. Defensive tackle, obviously we're going to miss Calais. I really wish we could have brought him back, but Chris Greer lowballed the shit out of him. Surprise, surprise. I really think Calais would have came back if we would have offered what Arizona offered. But we didn't. Of course we didn't. So he signed with the Arizona Cardinals. We draft Kenneth Grant. I think Kenneth Grant's going to hit the ground running. I really do. Kenneth Grant is a physically dominant athlete. He's super fast for his size, super strong. We're talking about a defensive tackle that ran a sub 540 at 360 pounds. He's a matchup nightmare. He's going to consume 2 blockers at a time, which is going to open up opportunities for other players. But right now, Kenneth Grant, I think he's going to hit the ground running. The stats might not be there, but his impact on the game will be. Benito Jones played all right for us, subbing in at nose tackle. He's a big physical guy. He fills a hole, right? He fills a hole. He's not terrible. He's not great, but he fills a hole. I really like our backups. I like some of the depth we got. Jordan Phillips, I think he's going to be an animal as he grows into his body. This guy's only 20 years old. Super strong, super athletic, got a wrestling background. I think Jordan Phillips is going to be phenomenal in the future. Zeke Biggers is a big boy, folks. He's that clog in the middle. Eventually, he's going to be the clog in the middle. I think we're good as the future moves forward with what we have along this defensive line. Zach Sealer, you know what Zach Sealer is. Zach Sealer, 10 sacks a season, great player along the defensive line, great leader, great team guy. He wants a new deal. Will he sit out? I really don't think he has the leverage to sit out. Is he underpaid? Sure. But he's still got 2 years left on his deal. I don't know if he can afford to sit out. I do not know if you check your Cash App yet. My phone's dead, so I haven't had opportunity, Glenn, but if you send me something, I definitely do appreciate it. Zeke reminds me of Daryl Gardner. Daryl Gardner was a beast. You know, Daryl Gardner got shot in the face and drove himself to the hospital. Shot in the face and drove himself to the hospital. That dude was a bad dude. A bad dude. Daryl Gardner. They don't make him. They don't make him like Daryl Gardner. You know what I mean? Daryl Gardner was a bad dude. But yeah, Zach Sealer, a great player for the Miami Dolphins. Hopefully he can work it out. Hopefully they can give him some maybe more guaranteed money, something to help him out, but also not hurt the team. Then they got weak side linebacker Jalen Phillips, left inside linebacker Terrell Dodson, right inside linebacker Jordan Brooks, S linebacker Bradley Chubb. Listen, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, what are they going to look like coming off these injuries? Bradley Chubb didn't play at all last year. Phillips played a few games before hurting his knee last year. What are these guys going to look like? Are they going to be back to 90%, 100%? Where are they going to be at? Before the injuries, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb were playing good football for the Miami Dolphins. Bradley Chubb's one of the leaders on this defensive side of the ball. Jordan Brooks, I love what he's brought to the team. Terrell Dodson played good for us in spurts last year. I know that he's had his struggles in Seattle and Buffalo, but he's been a pretty good player for us. I like the additional Willie Gay Jr. He's a player that played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He knows how to win. Quentin Bell, I think he's a player that has great potential. Keep an eye on Grayson Murphy. Grayson Murphy this training camp. I like this kid a lot. I think he's got a lot of great potential. Keep an eye on him. I like our linebacker core, obviously. Chop Robinson, like I said, the key to this defense is going to be the pass rush. The pass rush generated by Kenneth Grant, Zach Sealer, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Chop Robinson. If we can get after the quarterback, like I think we can, it's going to help our weak secondary. And then we move to the cornerback position. This is where the real question marks come. This is where training camp is going to be vital for the Miami Dolphins. Storm Duck, Jason Marshall Jr. are slated in as the starters right now. Listen, Storm Duck had I wouldn't say a great year. He had a promising year last year. Hopefully he continues to improve. Jason Marshall Jr., a late round draft pick out of the University of Florida. I think he's got the physical tools. Do I think he's ready to start? I don't. I don't think he's ready to start. Cam Smith, listen, he's a second round draft pick, been here for numerous years, struggles to stay healthy, and just hasn't been very good at practice. Now, I went back and watched that Bills-Dolphins game last year, and Josh Allen targeted Cam Smith 4 or 5 times in a row. And I will say this, Cam Smith was in position to make plays in that game. So he did show me some promise in that game. I think Cam Smith has all the physical tools to be a very good corner in this league. I liked Cam Smith coming out, but I think his confidence got damaged, and I think it's really affecting his play more than anything. I think his confidence has just been damaged by Vic Fangio. I think Vic Fangio really damaged this kid because he's got the physical tools to be a great player. Ethan Bonner's looked good in training camp before. Again, I'm not, until this guy shows me something in the regular season, I'm not I'm not feeding that. Isaiah Johnson. Keep an eye on Isaiah Johnson. I think he has the potential to jump up this depth chart. Before you know it, he might end up being the starter. At the slot corner, the nickel corner, you got Kader Kohu. Kader's really good at the nickel corner. Now, there's rumblings that they might try to move Kader on the outside. I think that would be a mistake. I think Kader, you take Kader out the nickel position. He's really good at the nickel position. I think taking him out the nickel and moving him outside, all that does is make the nickel position that much worse. I'd rather keep that as a strength. Now, Kader Kohu's been decent on the outside, but I think he's more equipped to be at the nickel, and that's where I would keep him, to be honest. Keep an eye on Kendall Sheffield, too. I think he could move up the depth chart. I wouldn't be surprised if they move Kader on the outside, if Kendall's not the starting nickel corner. But I think we need to add some. I think we need to add some people. I would like to see us add 2 corners. At the top of my wish list is Jalen Watson from the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs bringing him back, re-signing him. He's going to be a free agent after the season. He's young. He's got talent. I would see what it would take to bring him over. He's not currently slated to be a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. I would see what it would take to bring this kid over. And then I would add a depth, a Rasul Douglas or one of the other veterans available. I think we're pretty sure that Asante Samuel's not coming here after what his dad said, right? I'm pretty sure that Asante Samuel's not on his way to Miami after what his father said about the team. So Rasul Douglas, Stephon Gilmore plus Jalen Wright, I think that would help this cornerback room a lot more. I think that would help this corner room a lot. Mixed with our young guys that we already have on the team, mixed with our pass rush, who's going to help out. A good pass rush is going to help those defensive backs. And I think we'd be just fine. We can add Jalen Wright from the Kansas City Chiefs and Stephon Gilmore or Rasul Douglas. I think we'll be all right. And I think you can get both those players on the cheap. And then let's move to safety. We got Ashton Davis, Minkah Fitzpatrick as our starters right now. Afiti Malafanu as our backup. Dante Trader Jr. as our backup. Patrick McMorris, Elijah Campbell. I actually like our safeties. I think Ashton Davis is a big physical safety. He's young, he's strong, he's fast. I like him. He has a knack for getting to the ball. He has more career interceptions than Javon Holland did. Minkah, you know who Minkah is. He's had 2 down years, one due to injury, one due to the fact that, the Pittsburgh Steelers just were playing him as a center fielder. That's not the strength of Minkah's game. Minkah needs to be around the line of scrimmage to make plays. When Minkah's around the line of scrimmage making plays, he's coming up with turnovers. He's making game-changing hits. He's a playmaker that needs to be down towards the line of scrimmage. And if the Miami Dolphins can use him like that, Minkah could have a huge year for the Miami Dolphins. I could see 4 or 5 interceptions for Minkah. Dante Trader Jr., kid out of Maryland, rookie. I like him a lot. He's a student of the game. He wants to be great. He's got a great skill set. I like him a lot. Afine, I think if he can stay healthy, he brings good depth through this team. I like this team. I like the safeties on this team. I think they're much improved over last year. I think they're much improved over last year. So again, I don't think this Dolphins team is in bad as shape as others seem to think it is. I think the Miami Dolphins can have a successful season. So all the fans out there saying that we're winning 5-6 games, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think we're better than that. Now again, we're going to have to stay healthy. I think we're going to have to stay healthy. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have to stay healthy. This offensive line, for the most part, is going to have to stay healthy. We've dealt with season-crippling injuries over the course of Mike McDaniel's tenure here in Miami. A lot of them have been Tua. And we haven't had the backup quarterbacks needed to overcome. We've had terrible backup cornerbacks. The 1 year in 2023 where Tua could stay healthy, everybody else on the team was hurt. Literally, everybody else was hurt. So if we can stay healthy, the health is half the battle. If we can stay healthy, we have potential to be a playoff team. Shoot, if we stay healthy, we have the potential to win a playoff game for the first time in 25 years. But we do need to address the offensive line. Glenn, thank you. I just turned on my phone. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I appreciate it. That means the world to me. That's awesome of you. Glenn donating, helping me try to get the training camp. That's huge, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. But what's your thoughts? I really see this team, if healthy, and if we can make the additions. Again, we need some more depth, especially along the offensive line and at cornerback. If we can make those necessary additions, I think we could get to 10, 11 wins. I really do. I do. And maybe I'm just being a fanboy right now. But I think the offense is going to be okay. I think we're going to be improved along the offensive line. I think we have a lot of potential to win. If Tua can just play a little bit better against the good teams. We've been close against these good teams that we can't beat. We've been close. It's not like we're getting stomped on. We've been stomped on a couple times. I'm not going to lie. The Buffalo Bills have stomped us a couple times. Baltimore Ravens last year stomped us. But for the most part, we're in striking distance of beating the good teams. We got to just not make the dumb mistakes. The Bradley Chubb taking his helmet off against the Titans that cost us the division title. And yeah, we ended up losing that game, and we should have still won, even with Bradley Chubb doing that. But dumb. The Jordan Poyer hit on Coleman last year against the Bills. Dumb. The drop passes from Tyreek, the fumbles from Tyreek. the game crippling 3 interception games that Tua has, like he had against Buffalo last year in week 3 or against the Houston Texans last year, that we still only lost that game by a touchdown. Tua had 3 interceptions, was absolutely horrible, and we still only lost that game by a touchdown. We're in striking distance of being a very good team. Now, how good of a team is that? I don't know. On any given Sunday, a team can beat another team. Look at, we beat the Rams last year. The Rams almost beat the Super Bowl champions in the playoffs. Again, Glenn, thank you so much. Michael Lombardo, thank you so much for, I mean, I don't know what you sent, but I appreciate it. Thank you for you guys trying to help me get the training camp. It means a lot. And again, I'm not asking anybody, you know what I mean? And if I can't end up getting the training camp, I'll absolutely send this money back. But that's my Cash App if anybody else wants to, you know what I mean? And if people want to go down to Miami and get a Airbnb for 2-3 days, I'm with it. They haven't sent the tickets yet, but I did apply for six tickets each event. So I should have the tickets for everybody that want to go. I should have the tickets. I don't know when they're going to send them, but we shall see. But listen, I like this football team. We're going to know a lot more. Raphael, let me know. Again, tell me what area we should look for Airbnbs. I'll get off right now and I can let you all know this weekend. I'll do some kind of live stream, open fan panel, because I like to do that with you guys. Beth, when you go in the Bills training camp? Rochester's not that far. I can be there in an hour and a half, hour 45. Go up and give me a garbage plate. Yeah, Raphael, let me know. It'd be the week where they do the joint practices with the Jaguars, I think. The 25th. Big C, I would help, but I'm donating all my extra money to people with IQs lower than room temperature. Hopefully, Costa Nostra will benefit at some point. Yo, you guys are crazy. Okay. Sound like a nice family time. Sunrise, Florida. All right, we don't got to worry about getting robbed there or nothing. Michael? I'll start looking at Airbnbs today. Again, I won't be here tomorrow morning. I got work. So we'll do an open fan panel either tomorrow night or Saturday night. Probably 9:30. Just keep an eye for it. Put your notifications on. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Again, my Cash App across the bottom of the screen. If you want to help with the training camp. Again, I'm not begging, and if it is what it is, and if I can't end up making it down, I'll send the money back. But let me know who's really willing to go to this training camp. Let me know who's really trying to go. Is CFB 26 out yet, Miller? I got 2025. West Sunrise. Okay. Yeah, I need to know how many people want to go. Camp for Life says, I got $100, bro. All right, but yeah, I'll look in Sunrise. I'll look in Sunrise, West Sunrise. All right, I'll look in West Sunrise. Again, Cash App across bottom of the screen if you want to help out. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And I'll be back either tomorrow night or Saturday night. We'll do an open fan panel. Until then, folks, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. You know what it is. Fins up forever. Shout out to the Bills fans in the group. I appreciate you, Beth and Michael K. Michael K, be nice. All right, folks, I'll see y'all later. Fins up. Peace.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing